When it comes down to it, what's the one thing all of us parents want? We want our kids to be happy, right? To be confident, to feel secure. And the foundation for all of that, the real bedrock for everything that comes later, is a strong, trusting relationship. It's not just a nice bonus, it's everything. But okay, how do you actually get there? Because the second you start looking for advice, it is a total information overload. You've got books, blogs, experts, your in laws, and they're all telling you something different. It's so easy to get lost in all that conflicting advice and just end up feeling completely exhausted. So, what if we could just cut through all that noise? What if we can ignore the endless rules and conflicting tips for a minute and just focus on the one thing that truly matters? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. And that brings me to this really powerful approach called Promoting First Relationships, or PFR for short. This is all about getting to the heart of that connection, but in a way that might really surprise you. So, what exactly is PFR? Well, it's a program designed for caregivers with little ones, from birth all the way up to 5 years old. And look, this isn't just some fuzzy feel-good theory. PFR is a serious, evidence-based program that was developed at the University of Washington. That means it's backed by tons of rigorous research. It's the real deal. So what makes it so different from every other parenting book on the shelf? Well, first off, this is not a rule book. It's not a list of do's and don'ts. Instead, the entire focus is on that emotional connection and helping you find more joy in your relationship. And here's the best part. It's all about building on the strengths your family already has. Okay, so how do they do it? What's the magic trick here? Well, let's get into what they call their secret sauce. It's this really unique and powerful tool that's at the very heart of the program. They use something called strength-based video feedback, and it's super simple. A trained provider records a short clip of you and your child in a totally normal, everyday moment. Maybe you're playing with blocks or reading a story. Then you watch it back together. But here's the key. The goal is not to critique you or point out what you did wrong. It's the complete opposite. It's all about finding and celebrating the wonderful moments of connection that are already there. And doing this creates this huge shift in perspective. We're often taught to see a child's behavior as something that needs to be managed or corrected, but PFR helps you see that behavior is really just communication. That toddler who's throwing a tantrum, maybe they're not trying to be bad. Maybe they're just trying to say, I'm so overwhelmed right now and I don't have the words for it. It's a total game changer. And what's so cool is that it isn't just about analyzing the child. The program really gives parents a moment to reflect on their own feelings and their own values. The whole point is to help you find a parenting style that feels authentic and empowering to you, not to make you follow somebody else's rigid playbook. Now, this all sounds incredible for one family at a time, right? But how do you take an approach that's so personal and make it available to lots and lots of families? Well, that's where the model is actually pretty genius. They scale the impact by training the people who are already out there working in our communities. The training process itself is a straightforward two-step journey. First, providers, think home visitors, counselors, caseworkers. They attend a workshop to learn all the core ideas. But then comes the really crucial part, step 2. That's where they get direct, hands-on mentoring and expert guidance as they start using these new skills with a real family. And these providers are definitely not just left to figure it out on their own. They get a whole set of resources, like a super comprehensive training manual for themselves and really engaging, easy-to-use handouts for the parents. And get this, the materials are available in multiple languages, which is just fantastic because it means so many more families can benefit. All right, so the theory is sound, the training is solid, but what about the proof? Does this stuff actually work out in the real world? Let's talk about the results that families are seeing. Well, the research is crystal clear. Parents who go through the program gain a much better understanding of child development. They become more sensitive to their child's cues, more responsive. And what happens when that connection gets stronger? The child's behavior improves. It's this beautiful, positive ripple effect. But honestly, the numbers only tell part of the story. It's the human impact that really gets me. There's this one quote from a parent that just says it all. They said, "What I didn't prepare for was the profound effect." Wow, that just speaks volumes, doesn't it? It points to a deep, meaningful change that goes way beyond just learning a few new parenting tips. So I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. We're surrounded by endless advice, parenting hacks, and techniques. But what if the most powerful, most effective tool we have as parents isn't a technique at all? What if it's simply that connection? What if that is the real secret sauce?